Hello students, welcome to this inaugural lecture delivered via electronic mode. All of you, or all of us, are alive to the fact that the global community has been bedeviled with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, changing the way things are done. That learning now has taken the shape of online teaching. Therefore, much of the learning this semester will be done through electronic media. Because there is lack of physical interaction, we expect that much will be done by the student. So what I give you is a guideline, but you have to do much more on your own. This course is called Media Informatics, INS 160. The purpose of this course is to enable learners appreciate the concept of media informatics and what underpins it. The expected learning outcomes include cultivation of in-depth understanding of the concept of media informatics. It is also expected that at the end of this course, you as learners or students should have been in a position to distinguish between the advantages and disadvantages of various embodiments of media informatics. You know, media informatics refers to the different technologies that enable communication between the global society, between and among the people of the global society. So we'll want to know what this media informatics is all about. It is also expected that by the end of the course, students should be in a position to manipulate such informatics if they come across them in their day-to-day life. Course outline. We'll have a brief introduction to media informatics. This will give the background of the historical development of media informatics. We'll want to see the importance of media informatics. You want to see the growth of media informatics. We shall look at information flow. We shall look at information media, for example, books, newspapers, emails, broadcasting facilities, etc., etc. Then we shall also look at communication channels. We shall look at the social functions of media informatics. We shall discuss the technical characteristics of media informatics. And finally, look at the discourses in information media. Mode of delivery. Given that we are not meeting physically, the content will be delivered electronically. It will be through uploading of the content on your portal. It will be through engaging you in chat forum, chat rooms. It will be through engaging you in discussion forums. It will be through quizzes and assessment. You'll be subjected to continuous assessment tests, which will account for 30%. And the final exam will be marked at 70%. all totaling to 100%. The first week has just begun, and our first lesson is on background to media informatics. Introduction. The lesson introduces the learner to the concept of media informatics. It gives the background information to media informatics, showing its history and early developments. Lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you, the learner, should be able to understand the concept of media informatics. 2, we should be in a position to explain the historical development of media informatics. 3, should be able to identify the different embodiments of media informatics. By the way, some of you have interacted with me in the previous classes. Others are enrolling for or are meeting me afresh. For the benefit of those of you who do not know me, I'm Dr. Wekalao Namande, PhD, from Kenyatta University. I have taught information science at Kenyatta University. I've taught information science at Kisii University. And my specialization is information science vis-a-vis knowledge management. Coming back to our discussion, we want to understand the concept of informatics or media informatics. Informatics is a social science with a focus on the usage of information systems in society and organization. When we talk about information systems, we refer to those applications which make people to communicate in society. For example, computer-based technologies enable people to use emails, to use WhatsApp, to use other, different social networks to communicate. The traditional setup was, communication was done through radio, through TV, and the advantage of radio and TV is that it is able to reach many people. It's one-way communication, but it penetrates the listenership levels at various angles. So people are able to follow it because of its popularity. Informatics was anchored in the computer-related development stages from the 1950s. We are informed that the earliest computers were very large, were very big, and the reasons for their existence was to calculate and to make large and complex calculations. These machines were mostly used in the military, providing data for ballistic calculations. The 1960s saw the expansion of computer use. Computers were applied in administrative domains. They were used to keep track of large amounts of data. They were also used for keeping records of people, products, economic transactions, services, among others. Computers were also used for control and management of processes during this particular age. For example, production in industry. In the 1970s, computers became more and more used at individual levels. They started using tools like word processors and spreadsheets. The growth and spread of computers was characterized with increased interest in designing computers that are easier to use. It was during this age that interface development got more attention, heralding formation of modern computer graphical interfaces, including inventions like the mouse. What we're saying is that the early computers were large machines occupying large amount of space. But with time, computers started evolving and became even more smaller. And as they evolved, new developments emerged. For example, the mouse was developed in the 1970s. The gadget I'm showing here is a mouse, which was developed in the 1970s. But earlier on, we did not have computers that made use of mouse. Besides official use in office, people discovered that computers can also be used for personal reasons, such as letter writing, report writing, homeworks, etc., etc. It is during this period that computers became even more interactive. Interactive in the sense that networking and internet set in. So we are saying that computers spread even into the living rooms of the citizenry, such that people could now do their work from home, just like we are doing now. It is courtesy of Media Informatics that we are able to deliver this lesson through this online facility. And it's because of the evolution of computers that we have reached this angle where we don't need to be in the same physical space to do learning. You are wherever you are, but with your handset, we are able to communicate. It is because of the development of media informatics. The use of the internet became widespread in the 1990s. And with the combination of the trends of the 80s, the term information technology emerged. In the contemporary world, computers are no longer used as standalone tools, but are instead part of a bigger network. Yes, we are able to communicate because your computers, whether it is a handset or your laptop, whichever machine you are using, is interlinked with computers elsewhere. That is why we are able to communicate. That is why I'm able to deliver this lesson through online facility. The link between technology and the user interface is what characterizes media informatics, because it is only with the aid of technology that data, texts, images, and language can be prepared, transmitted, and processed in a digital form. Students, we have come to the end of the first lesson for the first week of the semester. It has been basically on the development of media informatics. There is a self-test question for you to see if you are following. you are required to trace the historical developments of media informatics. I've not given references in this first lesson, but at the end of this module, there are references for you to read further. There are also links that will enable you get more information regarding the various topics on media informatics. I will appreciate if there is any question that you may ask through the discussion forum, through the chat room, or through electronic messaging such as WhatsApp and emails. Thank you, and that brings us to the end of the first online learning lesson. God bless you. Keep safe.